Hola, muy buenos días. Bienvenidos a más un webinario de Grudición. Nuestra empresa, como sabéis, se dedica a la tecnología para colaboración. Tanto en la educación como en la empresa tenemos nuestra marca WeScreen, la marca C-Touch.
Y muy buenos días a nuestros participantes de Sudamérica y Centroamérica. Como Pablo les comentó, yo soy Fernando Vargas, el encargado del área de software de Group Vision. Llevamos ofertas muy interesantes y novedosas en el área de software. Y el día de hoy quisiera presentarles la más importante quizás en temas de funcionalidad y reconocimiento a nivel mundial desde el punto de vista académico y desde el punto de vista interactivo. Vamos a pasar a continuación un video y yo quisiera que tuviera mi contacto para próximos requerimientos que pudieran tener. Recuerden que estoy para servirles y cualquier inquietud o cualquier tipo de prueba que quisieran comentar, pues estoy a su disposición. Olive Green es el primer largometraje interactivo disponible en línea diseñado para enseñar inglés. Contiene juegos y concursos de la trama que se acoplan a los estudiantes y les invita a conocer hilos alternativos de la historia. El contenido de aprendizaje es un curso de inglés integral que va desde A1 al nivel avanzado C1. El aprendizaje es un material novedoso apoyado por el método Supermemo, reconocido por ayudar a memorizar mejor y hasta 15 veces más rápido que con los métodos tradicionales. El plan de estudios fue la base fundamental para que el guionista creara los diálogos finales de la película. El usuario puede acceder a todas las escenas en la parte inferior derecha haciendo clic en este botón, donde se podrá dar cuenta que cada una de las escenas tiene contenidos específicos de acuerdo al nivel en el que el usuario se encuentra actualmente. Permite que el usuario pueda participar, como lo hemos dicho, en cada una de las escenas, siendo partícipe en cuanto a las decisiones o el hilo alternativo que va a tomar la película. Pero en este caso particular podemos darnos cuenta que en la escena número 3 se le pregunta al usuario qué debe de hacer. Cuando él llega en este punto, debe tomar una decisión. En este caso vamos a optar por la opción derecha de no atacar y vemos cómo continúa la escena paso tras paso. Finalmente, cuando ella termina la escena, el usuario debe pasar por una serie de evaluaciones en tiempo real que van a evaluar o van a determinar si específicamente el usuario ha entendido o ha podido integrar los conocimientos.
This company, Supermemo company, we've been on the educational market for over 25 years now, and we specialize in providing foreign language courses to our customers together with the technology. So all of our courses are available either for the online and on the e-learning platform, but as well as the mobile applications for Android and iOS, and of course CDs and DVD-ROM. We are present all over the world, actually, thanks to our partners and customers who support the methodology that we do provide. So it is called Supermemo method, and basically the method is based on research intellect and memory, and it works on repetitions. So let me show you the presentation. Okay, you should see it now. So this is the forgetting cards that we all know, and you can see on the screen that about the repetition. So actually we all know it by ourselves when we learn anything new, like for example when we learn a new language, when you go to any kind of language classes like the English or French or anything. So when you go to the classes and we learn the material and we do practice it and we do repeat it, we do remember it. But if the classes stop and we don't repeat the material, we don't practice, we don't use the language, then automatically after some time we forget what we have learned before. And this is exactly what happens to everyone. And this is where the Supermemo method comes in handy with the repetitions. So whatever you do, whatever you learn with the Supermemo method, you give the answers to the system, and based on those answers, the system will schedule the repetition plan for you. This is an individual plan of learning for every single user, and it would go on repetition. So even though you finish doing the course, you will still have the repetitions like forever, because at the very beginning the repetitions will be scheduled for quite often, but while the time passes by, the repetitions will be scheduled in much longer period. While learning with the method, it actually saves you the time on learning, because the method, the system recognizes what you have problem with, and then that is scheduled for the repetitions. So you don't really waste your time on learning what you already know, but to practice the things you've got a problem with to remember. And some time ago, we've done a research with a high school, and we divided the classes of the students who were preparing for a German exam. We divided them into half. So all of them were preparing from the traditional method, which means with the books and the textbook for the exam, but half of them were also using our e-learning platform, which we put the whole course that we're using during the class into the e-learning platform of ours, so it worked with the Supermemo method. And then after the exam, we could see the results. So the students who took the traditional materials and also they used the Supermemo method to learn the same material, they had on average 30% higher score than the rest of the students. So you've got a proof that it's effective as for the method. So the other issue for us having such an effective method was to think of a course that would motivate our learners, our students, much more and would engage them. And this is how we came up with a movie, because movie itself, it's always the best way to learn a new language when you watch it in the native language. And also we all love the movies, so this is why we came out with a very new project, which is Olive Green, and this is a full comprehensive English course that covers the levels from A1 to C1. So thank you very much. Okay, so I will move to the presentation. So if the online version doesn't work here. Okay then, so just to tell you a little bit more, like what the course look like. It does contain, as I said before, 60 scenes which are divided by the levels. So there are 12 scenes for each level from A1 to C1. And each scene takes about 2 to 3 minutes. And it does contain always some kind of interaction. So there are either kind of a plot fork, so we need to decide for the main character what she needs to do. Or there are some kind of games or interactions, like here the one you've got a matching the pairs, so it does actually check if you did understand what was in the scene. So if you do not do it correctly, the system will not let you watch it further, so you have to watch it again until you do it correctly. So this actually checks if you do understand the movie, if you are still learning. But apart from that, there are different kind of quizzes or kind of games in each scene. So this is the way we want to keep the engagement of the student. And of course, after each scene, there is the learning part. So in the learning part, always at the very beginning, you've got true or false questions just to check if you understood what was the scene about. And after those questions, you've got a vocabulary introduction. So everything that was in the scene is there, and there are a lot of different kind of exercises. Then you can practice the words and phrases that were there introduced. And apart from that, of course, there is the grammar, explanation, and introduction. So you've got it always. Within each scene, you can always see like what will be there included. So you can either use it as an extra material, or you can just go as the course goes, slide by slide. The other thing that we put there that is very important for our customers is the interactive dialogues, because always while learning online on your own, it's very crucial that you don't actually have the chance to talk to anyone if you do not have the lessons with the teacher. So what we included there as well are the interactive dialogues, so we can actually speak and be checked if that was understood by the system. That works with Google Translator I mean, with Google speech recognition. So, and of course, as I said before about the method, you can always see, and always it works with any kind of course, the Supermemo method, which is the algorithm behind that. So as you can see on this calendar, there are the repetitions that are scheduled for each day, and there's either 1, 2, 4, 3 or 4, or there can be much more of those. These are the repetitions that will be scheduled for each day. So whenever time you start the system, you start the learning part each day, the first thing you should do is are the repetitions, and then you go to the learning part. So together with the course that is based on the movie, that's very engaging for all of the students, and it will keep the motivation, because it's much better to log in and watch the movie and then do the learning part instead of just reading the text. So we see it from the clients, and we do have fantastic feedback from them about this, so they really love it. And the course, the project was awarded on many occasions in different countries. So as well as for educational content and the innovation and the movie itself. So we are really grateful for that. And of course, apart from the learning part, we do have the background for the teachers, which would be the groups online that we can create for the teachers, so that you can see all of the statistics of the students, like from the very basic ones, like the progress, how they are doing, how much material they've done so far, like to the very extensive ones, like when exactly they logged in, and how often they logged in, how many repetitions they've done, how many repetitions they will have to do, and based on those intervals and repetition dates, you can actually know if this is the kind of material that they're doing well with, or this is the something they've got a problem with, so that will be the point to repeat it or to explain it during the lesson. So everything is there in the system, and I guess you'll have a chance to test it. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Ela, for your presentation.